I see God everywhere in Rwanda. To be honest, God is everywhere because everyone just has so much love and hope and faith in each other and faith in God. And that's so easy to see there. The minute I got to Rwanda, I just saw God everywhere.
Everything I have is a privilege. Everything that I'm ever given, everything I've ever bought, that most people will never get to experience some of the things that I've experienced, like especially going on a trip like this.
God definitely taught me that true joy is completely separate from our resources. You know, the whole trip, meeting the kids and the families and giving away the cows just really puts into perspective how much we have.
Seeing people in Rwanda struggling with their daily life and still persevering made me realize that some of the things I have in my life that I consider struggles are a lot smaller.
God taught me to have compassion for those who they might have worse circumstances than me, but even though they have worse circumstances, they're still the happiest people I've ever met.
We gave 6 cows to a community that was really struggling with malnourishment in the children of that village. It's just really inspiring to see that, you know, these communities, the cows weren't for specific people, they were for villages and communities as a whole. And we don't see that a lot in the US. It's very individualized, but here, you know, with such limited resources, they really all have to come together to fight problems and to make their living situations the best as possible.
Seeing the whole celebration that they threw, I realized how important it was to them. And how one cow can impact an entire family and provide so many resources.
It was such an experience. Everybody was always so happy. The celebration, and it really brought light to how these people live and how influential it is for us to give them a cow.
It was so much fun dancing with them. The first time I was dancing, I was a little nervous because I didn't really know what to expect, but they just welcomed me in, they took my hands and brought me into the circle, and they just were so happy that I was there. Seeing the children who we sponsor was amazing. It was great to show up, and as soon as we got there, they just had the biggest smiles on their faces. And it was so exciting getting to interact with them and seeing how grateful they are to have an education. I thought that was really neat. As much money as we have, such a little amount can put a child in and give them a great education is so great. I feel like that is an amazing opportunity with them, and honestly, I think that we should all step up. These children deserve that chance, and I think that we could do anything in our power to help them. We should.
I think that the way that sponsoring and giving scholarships to students who otherwise wouldn't be able to afford school is just a massive impact on their life. I mean, we saw some students who said that they were struggling to afford what comes out to roughly $50 a year. So hearing that people weren't able to afford that, and then being able to actually ourselves contribute to giving them a school experience and giving them a chance to get a career that they want and be well educated, I think it's just an amazing thing. It's wonderful to see how much of an impact just that scholarship has on their life.
The experience with the safari was amazing. I have never seen any animals, exotic animals, I guess, that close up, and it was so cool to see. I really enjoyed getting to take all the photos of them to bring home to my family and show them. They're gonna be so jealous.
I think my favorite part of the safari was, there was a part where we were driving through. I can't even describe it because it was just so beautiful, but there were mountains all around, kind of keeping the animals in this humongous field with hills, and it was just these beautiful hills and lakes for miles. It truly is like the most beautiful landscape I've ever seen.
Just getting to see so many animals and for what was a relatively short amount of time, and getting to hear how many types of animals and how many in number they have, it was really cool.
The best part of the safari for me was definitely seeing the elephant right up close. It was so fun. Barely anybody ever gets that experience of seeing such amazing creatures so close.
After visiting the coffee farm, I feel like I realized that at home it's really easy to just get things quickly, kind of low effort in a way to get things, and seeing the coffee farm and other people working around Rwanda made me realize that everything in Rwanda is very hard effort, lots of effort put in to anything really.
I kind of grew up on a farm, which was an apple farm, so I was kind of familiar with the farming idea. But farming coffee, oh my goodness, it's such a incredible, strenuous process for some tiny beans.
Trying the coffee, it was nothing like I've ever had in the US. And I'm not much of a coffee drinker, but that coffee was amazing.
I think that I'm going to appreciate everything that's made naturally like that. All the coffee was handmade right in front of you. They were selling baskets that the women at the farm had made. All that stuff takes effort and time, whereas most things here are just made in the factory.
In the beginning of the gorilla trekking, within the first 5 minutes, I fell into mud and my shoes were completely covered in mud. And I am not much of a hiker, and I was telling Fran, I wish I could go back. Is it too late for me to go back?
There weren't any trails, but it genuinely felt like we were trekking through just a jungle, just fields with trees and straight mud.
The moment we saw the gorillas, everything, all the doubts, everything negative about it just went away. The gorillas were an amazing experience.
They were so friendly. I didn't expect them to be so just all right with us being so close to them.
They didn't even care. They were completely calm about us being so close. I didn't feel scared at all being there, and I thought that was really awesome.
We saw a lot of animals while we were there, and nearly all of them just ran away, but the gorillas just walked around us like we weren't even there, and kind of just owned where they were. It was really breathtaking to just see that and the magnitude of the animals. It was really amazing.
Here, I feel like we talked about this in class today, how privileged everybody is, and the American dream to go out and make money. That's just what seemed to be what everybody wants.
We in the United States have everything. We still are upset and angry, and those materials, the money, it doesn't bring joy into our lives. And I've always kind of known that in the back of my mind, but it was truly extraordinary to see it happen in real time and meet people that don't have bathrooms, don't have kitchens, their kids can't afford to go to school, and they still have so much joy and are so welcoming.
Seeing all those, a ton of people riding bikes, having to carry stuff back and forth across places, carrying water back and forth, it just was kind of humbling, because I know that I can just go to the grocery store, throw some water or something else in the car, and drive home, and it's no effort for me.
Going to Rwanda, I saw so much beauty and love throughout the communities, whether they were in church dancing together, or if we had just donated a cow and they were excited about that and having resources, or whether we went to a clinic and all the children who we passed on the way were waiting just to see us, or whether we go to a school and children are smiling and excited to see us. There's so much community and love, and everyone's just happy to be with each other. and I really loved that.
And then the happiness of the people. Everybody there was so happy regardless of their situation. It was amazing.
This trip taught me that after graduation, I think I'd like to be a lot more of a giving person. Not necessarily charity, but just like in general life, I think I'd like to be more of a giving person, because seeing the people's faces that we went and visited and how happy they were over what to us might be considered a basic donation, it just really warmed my heart and humbled me. And so I think that in my life, I'd like to continue to do things like that.
Seeing how many people didn't have things that we find to just be a necessity in everything, like being able to go up to a tap or a sink and just drink water out of it, have a shower whenever you want, especially just going to school and being able to have like simple learning, even for them. A decent amount of families just don't have that.
I definitely want to thank Mr. and Mrs. Duba for putting this trip on and organizing it so that we could go on it. And an extra special thanks to Janine.
She was so kind and caring.
She was like the feet on the ground there, and she's the only reason we were able to do anything.
It's so amazing to see what she does for the community and how she raises up churches and clinics, and just she puts everything in her goes to good, and I appreciate her for that.
Mr. Duba's phrase, trust Janine. Whenever you trusted Janine, everything worked out. Mrs. Duba really helped with everything. She's always kind, there, and then just planning everything. And Mr. Green for stepping in. My parents for helping me go on this trip and always supporting me with everything that I choose to do.
Definitely a big thanks to my family and my grandparents and my community, because I wouldn't have been able to go on this trip if it weren't for their financial help.
I want to thank my mom and my dad for sending me or allowing me to go on this trip. And I want to thank everyone who donated to me to help me go on the trip. And I can't wait to share photos with all of you.
I think if I had to thank anybody for this trip, I'd have to thank my parents for making it possible for me to go on this trip and getting to experience something that really is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I don't know if I'll ever be able to experience something like this, and it's truly amazing, and I'm so thankful to my parents for this.
Anybody that came to the fundraisers and bought tacos, just a big thanks to you, because the trip was there, but we had to be able to go on it and afford to go. So I'm extremely thankful for anybody that helped any of us be able to come on this truly once-in-a-lifetime experience.
If I had to say something back home to people about the trip, I would say if you're ever considering taking a trip to Rwanda, I would definitely say go do that. And I would also say that if you can help in any way to help support a child's education in Rwanda, that you should definitely do it, because like I said, it costs so little to do it, and it's definitely so important for everyone to have a good education.